The ones who came to hear from me, I promised two things, right? Your content as well as your conversion strategy to get from 0 to 100k followers in 2 years and 7 figures in 6 months. That's what I did. So I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to be very fast paced and share with you every single lever that I pulled in order to get there. Okay, let's start. I'm going to go into the content funnels. I know there are a lot of formats of content funnels. I'm just going to put it very simply for you. So there are two things you need to look at. Number one is attention and currency. So when you think of organic funnels, right, you think of two things. For me, I think it very simply. I see things as how do I get attention, how do I captivate audiences, and how do I turn that into currency. And both of it are overlapping but different skill sets, different systems and skill sets. So I'm going to cover it today. There are a lot of influencer friends of mine I know that get massive attention, but they are loaning money to put on a lifestyle in order to impress other people. Or they're not really getting a lot of money from sponsors or brand deals also. So attention and currency, it's linked, but they're very separate. I'm going to cover what are the key levers that I press in order to achieve my results in content and conversion. Okay, the reason why I mention levers is because levers is the root word of leverage. You're business owners, you understand that leverage is the key to scaling. So I'm going to, in my short time, only focus on the levers that I used. As Archimedes said, right, you give me a big enough lever, I can move the world. 3 things to keep in mind. Number one, understand the science of virality. If you want to understand how to go viral, you need to understand why something goes viral. Second one is to copy and engineer virality. And the third one, develop a cost and time effective, okay? Keywords, cost and time effective. Very few people know how to do that. Yes, you're very busy, no time to shoot content, and it's not cost effective also. You hire editors that are too expensive, you don't know how to manage them, right? And the last one is potency. Okay, potency is today a king cobra bites you, you probably have an hour to live if you don't get medical treatment, versus a random like oriental whip snake that wouldn't kill you. So potency is important, and we're going to cover that. Okay, let's start. Okay, virality. What is the key factor you need for virality? Engagement. Okay, give Terrence a round of applause. There are only 2 factors for virality. Virality is engagement, nothing more, nothing less. The more your videos are engaged, the more viral you'll be. And engagement is dependent on retention. So the more people watch your video, the longer they watch your video, the higher likelihood they are to engage with you and hence bring your video viral. So now we're going to break down into a science, both engagement and retention. Okay, first thing, engagement. There are only 4 engagement factors. Likes, shares, comments, as well as saves. Why do people like a post? I'm very stingy in my likes one. I only like my own videos. What's the last post you like? Think about it, and why do you do that? We like mainly because of a few reasons. One, we support it, it's funny, it's relatable, we want to support the creator. Yes, they have a strong enough vision we want to support. Why do we comment? 3 reasons: to express disgust, anger, to express praise and support, or to express your opinion. The third one is shares. When was the last time you shared a video on Reels or reposted a video on TikTok? Yesterday, what did you share? A cat video! Why do you share a cat video?
That's what I like, and that's what the person that I'm sending to like.
Yay! See, that's exactly what I was trying to say. People share mainly for few reasons, but the primary reason is that it's for social currency. We share to express who we are. If somebody articulates something in a way that is better than how we can articulate it, we will share it and say, oh, that's me. I represent this. Or I want to educate you on this. Or we share something, or the last reason is to laugh at somebody. Let's leave that out. Last one is saves. Why do people save? Value. Okay, they save because I refer to it again. Really basic. Okay, now that you understand this, right, let's go into the science of virality. Okay, for this, I need a flip chart. Okay, so I'm going to use that board to talk to you about this. Okay, we're going to walk through the science of retention. So why do we watch videos? What keeps you engaged in a video? Curiosity. Who said curiosity? He hit the nail on the spot. So human beings are very simple. Why do you watch dramas? Why do you watch Singles Inferno? Why do you watch Hunger Games? Because there's something called open loops. There's curiosity loops in your head. You're trying to answer a question. Okay, so regardless of any content format, you need to start with an open loop first. So an open loop essentially is creating curiosity. There's a question mark in your head. So this is what we call the hook. You'll hear hook, right? But the science behind the hook is that it's to create an open loop. At the end of the day, retention is retention. How do you create tension over and over again in a video? That's retention. There's no tension, we won't watch it. What marks a good date is also tension, right? If not, it's like, oh, boring. There's nothing to look forward to. So you create open loop. After you create open loop, what do you need to do it? If I tell you, I tease you today, I said, okay, today we are going to do content and conversion for 7 figures. And then I give you the introduction and I leave. Are you going to be pissed off? You're going to be freaking pissed off. Okay, and that's what some of you do in the video. All you focus on is the hook, but there's no payoff. You need to close the loop by giving them a payoff, or what I call a dopamine hit. They're satisfied in their brain, and it creates that feeling of satisfaction. And from that, they will stay. Now, after this, you need to do a rehook, which means that whether you're doing a vlog or street interaction or a talking head format, every single line and edit has to be curated and designed to create another hook, another open loop, and then close it again multiple times throughout the video, and that's retention. Now, there's one more caveat here that I'll share, right, is that many of you focus on the hook, but there's one thing that is very underrated that I do, okay, that I help my clients to do to get millions millions of views, right, is this thing called, this is the first 3 seconds. The next 5 to 7 seconds, you need to create something here, what I call the big promise. Okay, this is probably relevant in marketing as well. But you need to create a thesis or a promise. Okay, thesis is a bit chim lah. Just see it as promise. Okay, you need to tell people why they should stay and what you're going to cover for the rest of the video. And it needs to be built around a desire for gain or avoidance of pain. Because these two are the broad motivators. On a very fundamental level, all our motivations are tied back to these two. I give you an example. If I do a video, talking head video, I say, who do you think has sold the most courses in a lifetime? Is it Anthony Robbins? Is it Hormozi? Is it Iman Gadzhi? So I create an open loop now. Now you're curious because association famous figures, right? That's open loop. And then I say, it's actually universities and they sell trillions a year. Here are 3 ways they do it and how you can apply it in your coaching business. You see what I did there? In the next 5 seconds, I tell you what I'm going to cover and what you're going to gain from it. Then you, then you know what to expect in the video, you stay. But if you just do this without this, right, people lose attention after the hook. So after I give you the first point, that's the first payoff. Then second point, second payoff, third point, third payoff, and then I finish. That's how a talking head generally, one way of structuring it. Okay? Once you understand this, the next lever you got to pull is to learn how to engineer virality. Virality can be copied. Okay? There's no such thing as a true original. You find a very famous art piece and go in Taobao and find 10 of the same. Okay? The ethics behind it, discuss another day. Okay? But direct copy. But the key thing is you need to adapt it to your context or your personality. Why this works is because these videos already have inbuilt tension. They already have inbuilt tension. You just need to adapt it to your niche. Give an example of how I did it. When I first started RK, 9 November, this is a common video. Asking people for something, they're nice to you, you buy them anything. Very common video format. But nobody has done it before in Singapore. So I did it in the first 10 videos. I did it. Till today, this is still my most watched video on TikTok. I've never crossed 1 million views on TikTok for a single video. This is my most watched video, and this video alone got me 7,000 new followers. Okay, it's watched about 7%, which is decent. Same thing, I copied. Blindfolded, if you are facing depression, come for a hug. This is like 10 million views. Okay, I copied it, adapted it to my format. If you like Christmas gift for your kids but find it tough, come and take one. Then I lay Christmas gifts here. This is Punggol Waterway Point. This video got me close to 3,000 followers. So in 2 videos, I already reached 10k followers on TikTok. Okay, why? Because I just adapted virality. Now, is that easy to do? It's easy and it's not easy. The concept is easy, but the execution is hard. Because there's a lot of things to keep in mind. The visuals, the how to frame it, the ability to probe, to connect with people, the editing at the end. But it's not as difficult as you think it is. Okay, but I don't want to oversimplify. Okay, it still takes work, and remember, I spent 10 years getting doors slammed in my face. That's my foundation. So that is one way. So now, how do it apply to you? If you have your own businesses, whether you're an agent, real estate, FA, educator, whether you're a marketing agency, look at what other people in your niche are doing that has worked and adapt it to yourself. Go and search on TikTok, search trends on Instagram, search keywords. Okay, later I'll dive deep into that. Second way to engineer virality is to observe broad themes, topics, or trends and then adapt it to your content format. Themes are broad themes. Graduates' income. How much do people earn in Singapore? That's a broad theme. Topics, how much do uni graduates earn? How much do poly graduates earn? How much do army people earn? That is topics. Trends is what's talked about currently in society. The dramas, war, Novita Lam putting a story, that is trends. Okay, so you observe this and then you adapt it to your niche. Okay, give an example. This is Edric, my first client. I didn't believe in myself initially. He forced me. He said, Kevin, I'm going to pay you to coach me. And he set off this entire consultancy. So I must thank him for that. So he started out, you can see a few thousand views. All I did was search Money Singapore, Finance Singapore, and then I found that there were multiple themes and topics that people were constantly talking about. So I just adapted that to his content format, and then now his views are in the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Same thing, he's saying the same thing in the same way, just different topics and trends, topics and themes. This is some engagement that he got also from both copying virality and adapting to trends. Okay, the last lever need to prove for captivation and currency is a cost-effective, time-effective, and potent content system. This is all you need as a content system on a very simplified level. You need a good ideation, 70%, for me is 100%, because my execution is near flawless. My entire thing depends on good ideas. That's why I pay people just to ideate. But good ideation at your level, perhaps 70%. Then you have your editing, okay, and then your reviewing, which helps to increase the success of these two. Now I'm going to share a little secret on how I do my processes. There are 3 forms of edits, 3 layers of edits. Your content cuts, what you choose to include, your sound design and your visual effects, that's your second layer, and your third layer is your captions. I personally let my interns and my full-timers here do content cuts. Only, not even frame cuts, just content cuts. And I'm very ruthless with the dead space that I cut. Every single thing must be following that principle. And then I outsource the content cuts to offshore editors to do sound design and captions. Okay, why do I do that? Because they are very good at that and they charge a much lower price. It's more cost effective. But it's harder for them to understand local context and culture because they're not on the ground. In order to do the content cuts, they can, but it's a little bit harder. So there's one thing you can adopt. Okay, later on I'll go to nitty-gritties. I'm just covering the overall thing first. Okay, that is the attention side. The next thing is how you turn the attention into currency. These are the 5 conversion levers that you have to pull in order to convert your attention into currency. A lot of people miss this out dramatically. Even myself, I was missing it out for 1.5 years until business owners came into my life and said that, Kevin, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. And in 6 months, they helped me generate 7-figure currency. First one, clear positioning and simple. Okay, just take a quick photo of this. There are hundreds of agents, thousands of agents. Okay, if you are in an industry that hundreds of marketers. What makes you stand out in the field? If you were to ask somebody, your friends or whoever, to articulate your offer immediately, would they be able to do it? Who are you serving and what is your offer? If they cannot articulate that, you don't have a clear positioning. If I say the word Rayston now, some of you will smile because you know exactly what his offer is. So understand, that is your positioning. And the last thing is that, what do you symbolize? What do you impress upon people? I don't have time to do this exercise, but if I ask all of you the top 2 words to describe me, the impressions of me, you'll be quite consistent throughout. And if you ask other people that same question, is that consistent throughout or not? If it's not, you're not leaving an impression. They're just being nice to you. So what do you impress? Second thing, value and values as well as origin, story and offer. For you to convert somebody, your content needs to show both value and values. What's the difference? Value is the tangible value you bring, the business value you bring. If the prospect in your head determines that with you in their life, they benefit financially, emotionally, spiritually in their relationships, they would consider following you or your offer. That's value. Your values is what you stand for and stand against. Your values is your ethical values and what you value, your priorities. Are you a mom? Do you value family? Do you value security? Do you value financial freedom? People will make decisions on these 2 things. Value and values of someone with similar value, they will choose one that values are more aligned. So you need to show that through your content. Another thing is your origin story and offer. When you build a narrative around your personal brand, your origin story needs to match your offer. If I tell you that I failed my A-levels, I went through depression, hospitalized IMH, came out, built a business, relapsed again, started Radical Kindness, grew it, and the next day I start to sell Radical lingerie, women's underwear. Does it make sense? There's no congruency between my origin story and offer. If I tell you that I take 10 years of education experience as coaching experience, 2 years of my content experience, combine the skill sets and do a consultancy, focus on educators and agents, does it make more sense? Makes sense, right? Because now it's congruent. So you need to think about this very carefully. The third lever, you need to have a very intricate and intimate understanding of your target audience. I use these words very intentionally because you know your target audience and intimately knowing them is 2 different things. Why is this important? Because people don't buy because they fully understand. They buy because they feel understood. If you can articulate their problems better than themselves, they're going to automatically assume you have the solution. That is why it is not just eloquence that sells, but empathy. Now, I'll add another caveat to this. In content, it is eloquence backed and informed by empathy that sells. A lot of people have praised me for my eloquence, but what they don't understand is that behind that is very, very deep and even sometimes painful empathy, because I really listen and I go deep into the problems that people face on my target audience, or the people that I speak to, whoever I'm addressing the video to. Now, the fourth lever to pull is your ability to speak clearly, expressively, and persuasively. Can I have one volunteer real quick? Terrence, okay, let's come. Give a round of applause. So I want you to just introduce yourself in one line. What you stand for? One line.
Hi everyone, I'm Terrence. I help students. I empower students to live freely, boldly, and fearlessly.
Now I'm gonna give you some tips on the spot. How to speak clearly. Quick tip for you. I want you to open up your mouth when you speak. Imagine you can put a pen here or put an apple inside. Open your jaw a bit. Singaporeans like solo. Yeah, hello. When you speak, open up your mouth and articulate your words. So that's one thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do, to speak expressively, I want you to, you either make certain vowels longer or stronger. Okay, so speak a bit more rhythm, make it longer or stronger to get your tonality out there, your emotion in your voice. So let's try that again. Open up your mouth and express yourself a little bit more.
Hi everyone, I'm Terrence. I empower students to live fearlessly, freely, and limitlessly.
Limitlessly. Okay, give a round of applause. Okay, let's try one more time. I want you to slow down, don't rush through it. Hi everybody, I'm Terrence, and I empower students really feel the words. Articulate clearly. Open up your mouth. Go. Slow down a bit. Articulate clearly.
Hi everyone, my name is Terrence. I empower students to live freely, boldly, and fearlessly.
Okay, give a round of applause. Great. Okay, come take a seat. Appreciate you. Okay, can you see that small change in that short period of time? Before you go on camera, open up your mouth. Like just practice a bit A, E, I, O, U and jump around like a lunatic. Then you start doing your speech on camera. You know why? Because the camera eats up 30% of your energy. If you watch this now through the screen later, right, you'll realize that it's not the same as live, you know. So all the more you need to bring your energy up. Okay, the last one. The last lever you need to pull is that you need to be very sure what your funnels are. So your funnels need to be very, very reviewed and relentless. It needs to be relentless and it needs to be very reviewed. There's a few steps. Okay, I'm gonna cover them. Initiation is inbound, people ask you about the service. Outbound is you DM followers, DM new followers, DM people in your comments. Rekindle is to rekindle old conversations. From there, you can decide to close them directly one-to-one or whatever your offer is. Or if they're not ready, you funnel them into a nurturing channel, a Telegram channel, your email, okay, your lead magnet. And then you review that through data and then you optimize all of them. Okay, I'm gonna give you some examples of this before I end. Initiation, this is ManyChat. ManyChat is automation that allows you to DM every new follower. Y'all can install it if you all want. Okay, very simple. If you all follow me, this will be a DM. You can follow Radical Age now, you get this. You can click yes, definitely. Okay, and then I will send you a free Telegram channel as well as a VSL so people can watch this and then I engage them from there. So this helps the speed to lead much faster than my VAs having to DM every single person. Okay, so that's one. Another thing is you can use VAs, like I said, this is Sam's company. I have my VA to rekindle 20 conversations in a day and I hire him full time just to reply messages because the speed to lead is important. If you are doing a business and you're also replying, depends on your finances, you gotta check. Okay, but I'm saying that you need to have fast, it needs to be fast, and it needs to be rekindled. Why rekindling? Because people may be busy at the time, but 3 months later, maybe their girlfriend broke up with them and now they're angry and they're hungry for success and they reply you then. Okay, so marketing is consistent. Okay, next thing, after that, you can close them from the what, if not, you have to nurture them. Okay, when you nurture people, this is my Telegram channel. Some of you have came to this event from this channel or Joshua's Telegram channel. So VSL, your Telegram, as well as your stories and your client processes. Now this is quite slept on. A lot of people talk about client outcomes, but client processes are more persuasive. You're showing a journey and people can see that progress. And it's persuasive because those people are the people watching are also your target audience. So in my in my IG stories, in my Telegram channel, I'll show client processes. It's called a story sequence. I do a story sequence with a hook, okay, solve the problem, how I apply it, some client testimonials, and then CTA. Every 2 or 3 days, I do a story sequence, okay, to funnel. Okay, more on that later. Later we go into the specifics, okay? I'm just giving you the broad because I want to finish off already. And the last one is your closing, okay, dependent on what your funnel is. One funnel, one focus at a time. And finally, your reviews. Every single organic person that goes into my organic funnel, I'll get my VA to document this and exactly what the status is so I know. And I can track the data and I optimize from there. Okay, so I'm done. If you enjoyed what I shared today, there's a 7-hour masterclass on 20th March on Friday that I'm doing. So it will be from 9 to 5, interactive, in person. I'll be covering how to build your brand identity, covering the content strategy, everything that I said today. Okay, later I'll send this to you, everything I said today in detail. And just for today, if you sign up by today, I'm going to give you a discount of $38. It's already dirt cheap. It's $188 for 7 hours. Okay, with that, thanks to those watching the channel as well.